Okay. Some long, windy way back. Pull the lever. Oh, no, we don't. Just need to go through. Go through over to there. And to the elevator. No! Damn it. What's wrong? I left something in the director's office. What was it? The picture. How could I forget it? But yeah, I must have set it down after using the face recognition thing. Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse. I want to come with you. Me too. No, that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting. Alright, I'll see you two later then. Right. Bye, Mr. Sigma. I watched him jog off toward the blue door. Then they were gone. Guess I should be getting back then. Okay. Ride the elevator. Okay, we're on our floor. Doors are opening. Exiting the elevator. Doors are closing again. Okay, and we're walking. We're walking. We're walking. We're walking. We're at a door. Opening. Warehouse A. Stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Vi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AV room and slid his card through the reader. An Ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin. There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it. You see, I can be considerate. Ted, Myoji, and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick. And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
I mean, it's advantageous for us that they're not.
Yeah. While we waited, we exchanged information about the room she investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us found anything. We were no closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door, and Tenmyoji and Quark were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking it a little long? Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look. Then I shall accompany you. Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away. Just don't... Huh.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
That's... I don't think... Okay. Look, I'm just going to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right. See you guys later. Gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. What? If they don't show us, how do we know that we're going to the same spots? Through the same route. Like, this isn't even the shortest way there, either.
Yeah, once you open it, like, don't all doors just become available?
All the doors have been traveled through. We went a weird roundabout way to go backwards instead of just going straight there. Director's office. Huh? That's odd. There's nobody here. I wonder if the balloon would be popped if we didn't pop the balloon, since clearly we could have. The picture's gone, though. Tenmyoji and Quark must have been here then. I laid out the floor B map. They must have taken the door that faced the warehouse. After that, they probably went through the warehouse, not the blue door of the elevator. Yeah, they went the fastest way! Probably. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of a long way around. Huh. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Ugh. Well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. I packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. What? Why's that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. Felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously towards it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it, slowly, slowly. So, you finally made it. No, you're... I am Zero. I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording. I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond. Erg. I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my balled fist at my side. Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you. First, I will tell you about termites. In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. This is just a very Zero Escape thing. Just be like,
Yeah.
Well, first, I want to tell you about termites. Completely unrelated.
Watch termites be extremely related.
I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound? They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds. Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA. No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already? Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said. Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and in fact the lives of several billion other people. I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you. It is the password to disarm the bomb numbered 1. Bomb?
What?
Are you ready?
No.
I will only say this once, so pay close attention.
You have an eidetic memory, it's okay.
Disarm... What?
He has an eidetic memory, it's okay.
The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
I got it.
I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it. That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately. I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss. Wait. God damn it, you can't just spout all that crap and disappear. Found myself
I
yelling.
already did.
I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. Erg. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with this kidnapping us? Shit. I kicked out at a nearby shelf. 10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally. Oh crap, I need to get back. Not like there's any point staying here. Spun around and ran out of the room toward the warehouse. And it skips the travel.
Thank goodness.
Grandpa! Look, Mr. Sigma's back. Humph. Took you long enough. Where are the others? In the AB rooms. You went in already? Yep. Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me? Yeah. Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before he voted, no matter what. Oh? Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it? That's it. And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kind of pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want. True, but we got something to back it up. Just hear me out. Okay, go ahead. Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally. If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick. You get to 9 whether you got 2 or 3 points. Exactly. That being the case, we won't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points. True, but you must have considered that I'll choose betray. That would mean you'd choose betray to protect yourselves. That's why we're telling you we won't choose betray. Mm-hmm. Can I trust you? Of course. Alright, tell me one thing. Let's say we do this in both ally. Everybody gets 2 points. That means you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you. But I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch? I can guarantee it. How? I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't gonna abandon everybody else just so we can escape. I swear too. I promise. Man. So you got it as a promise, huh? When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me. Please. You've got to trust us. Alright, fine. I'll trust you. 2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. We're counting on you, Sigma. You gotta choose ally. You promised. With that, they turned around to the AB room, second from the right. Well, I guess I should get moving.
Has it been established that they can keep playing the AB game indefinitely after the star yet in this timeline?
Yeah, they always say that at the start of the star round. One minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes. I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That'd bring my BP to 6. It'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try and escape without the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet. But... Please! You've gotta trust us! You gotta choose ally. You promised.
It's...
Tenmyoji I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the hell was I going to do? 10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Like, the logical thing is to betray, not even to be a jerk, but just so it's faster for everyone to leave. Like, we get 3, they lose...
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, it's not stopping. Now it stopped. You finish your thought.
Like, we get 3, they lose 2, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get 3, they lose 2, we're at 6, and they're at 6. So then we can just ally twice, and then we'll both
Assuming
get to 9
they're
at the
still
same
willing
time.
to ally with you.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, that should have been communicated before we even got in. That's what I'm saying. Like, had they been like, oh yeah, then we won't leave, it's like, okay, cool, then you pick ally, I'll betray, and then we'll both be at 6,
Yeah,
and then...
I doubt they'd go with that. They don't want to be further from it.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, people are stupid. Why do people? It's just ally.
Because if you're at 9, if somebody else opens the door, you can at least get out. Ally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vote has been recorded. Please wait. Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
I haven't purposely betrayed anybody. Every time I betray, it's because I've done the other option already.
No, you betrayed Quark first.
Yeah, because it's hilarious to betray a sleeping child. That doesn't count.
Also, Dio, you betrayed first.
No, I thought we did. I thought we lost.
You did both, I thought. I thought you did betray first. Okay.
Oh, yeah, because he was, like, blackmailing me with the Accelavir. Yeah, you're right. Dio doesn't count. Dio's a jerk.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
You're allowed to betray sleeping children and jerks. That's my stance.
But conscious children, no.
Not conscious children until they betray you first.
Betray ally. Betray ally.
Well, I knew that they were going to, but like, it will
Why
take
would
the sting
they?
out of... That's what I'm saying. It will take the sting out of betraying them in the next timeline choice.
Points have been
They,
assigned or subtracted accordingly.
they betray because they're jerks.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points. Hey! What the hell, guys? Why'd you betray me? Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote. Grandpa. Alright, fine. Why do you break your promise, Tenmyoji? I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points. What? So you're not going to leave? Not what I said. Of course we're going
we got
to leave.
11.
What? What did you say?
That's because they got 11. We technically didn't get 9 points. Samuel just like,
Look.
see you next Tuesday.
See Clover over there? No, he's saying they're not opening it.
Clover's opening it, so they're just leaving with Clover. That's what I'm saying.
they're not gonna not leave.
Yeah, but they could have allied anyways.
They could have, but they didn't trust us or Sigma. I don't know.
Whatever. We're betraying them next round anyways.
Don't tell me. Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch.
Wait, Quark and Tenmyoji have.
The words were barely out of her mouth, and Tenmyoji and Quark ran past. No, god damn it.
Why does it even matter at that point? Like, just to spite them, you're not gonna try to let them leave? It's like, okay, whatever, we're done.
Clover! Are you really going to leave? Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to call the others. So we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, everybody. So, Sigma. Happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me. Like hell I'm happy. That's some shady shit, Tenmyoji. If you say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's gotta pay for what he's done. He? Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
Ooh. What?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go! Come on, guys! Time to move!
Right. Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma. Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this? It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay? He pressed it into my hand. See you later, Mr. Sigma. Then he turned and ran toward the door, Tenmyoji and Clover following his footsteps. What?
So everyone's a jerk.
I was so surprised with the letter that I didn't even try to stop them, before I could think of anything to say. See you.
Goodbye.
You know, why do people betray each other?
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay. Shit. They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read.
Oh no.
It was a dark and stormy night. No, it was a really stormy day when he found me.
Oh, so you're not gonna read it as Quark?
Well, no, because Quark's not saying it. What's the name's reading it?
Does he? What is the voiceover? Does the voice acting?
I don't think anything.
It's just all quiet at this point.
Yeah. There's. Yeah, I think that's. I think
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Go ahead.
If you prefer, I could read it as Quark's voice.
No. Please don't hurt yourself. Just read it. Read it as Sigma.
He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loudly. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married. This is kind of weird to read as his voice. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Are you there? I think... Okay. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess it was kind of a pain, huh? Should we wait? I don't want you to miss any important backstory.
I'm listening. I was just requesting a snack.
Oh, okay. But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small, and he was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2, and when he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't really have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I'd started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that had been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids in my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town to try and find somebody who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. I was also kind of surprised that Grandpa had tried to get someone else to take me. Does that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everybody about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me when I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." Never bothered me before, but after I found out about that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometimes to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and sat me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off of it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float! I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He'd already turned around and moved off, though, so I figured he must have put the glass down on me, in front of me on purpose. Still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I'd never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration, I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happier was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether he just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother, but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after he left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I'd torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over, and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care!" Then he got mad, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset, and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, and by then I'd started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It started raining pretty hard though, so I decided I should wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought I should just ignore it and not get involved, but I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He'd spent all night out in the rain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long that he'd collapsed. It was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever God might be listening that they would only save Grandpa. I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize as soon as he woke up. When the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted me to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone, but maybe he'd been a little too strict. All of the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he'd gone out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize. When I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that he'd have to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. When he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever, even if he said I couldn't. I'll say that audio track is my favorite music track in the series.
Is that like unique to Quark's story?
No, it'll play a couple other spots.
Hmm.
In fact, it's not even most known for Quark's story.
Ah. That said, though, I have to say it.
Who would I have root beer floats with?
Tenmi OG and I skipped the credits. Achievement unlocked in Root Beer Veritas.
In root beer Benitez? Is that what you said?
Veritas. I think that's like We Live or something.
I think in root beer lies the truth.
Oh, that's the truth. Okay. Fair.
I think so.
But yeah, that was
Okay.
that was the Tenmi OG ending.
Yeah. Cool, sweet. Everybody's really emotional. Let's go back and betray them. The jerks. I don't care about your root beer float, boy. Rude.
Okay, Betray.
Yeah! Screw them kids!
Only one of them's a kid.
Tamiyoji, the nerve! The nerve!
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. Betray. Betray ally.
Let Clover just leave by herself. It's fine.
Betray.
Yeah, you jerks. Bye, Clover. Get out of here. I'm keeping these two bozos.
Points
Don't
have
deserve
been
to go out and
assigned
have any more
or
root beer
subtracted
floats.
accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
You can't with me.
Hey, what's the deal? Quark had nothing to do with it. I entered the vote. So why did you choose Betray? Could I ask you the same thing?
No, because I know you betrayed me in the other timeline.
I don't think this really is the time for a fight, though. Look, Clover's over by the door. What?
Bye, Clover.
Oh no.
Bye. How many times has Clover left at this point? Like 4 times?
Probably the most of anybody.
Yeah.
The number 9 door. Fuck, she opened it.
Well, she's not. She's not a B word in this timeline. Ah!
Why?
Clover, wait.
It's too late, Bucko. She already opened it. It's only open for 9 seconds. She gotta go.
Clover, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm going to call the others.
What?
I'll get justice for Alice.
Justice? Wait, do you mean...
Nobody killed her. She done killed herself.
Yeah, but Zero killed her by forcing her here, is Clover's logic. The number 9 door
So,
has been
do-
opened. It will
Do
remain
our
open
parents
for
kill
9
us by that
seconds.
same logic?
I guess technically you're not wrong.
Time for me to go.
No!
Please, Clover, wait!
Like hell, I'm gonna just let you walk out of here. Like, stopping somebody is just like out of pure spite. There's no logical reason anymore. The door's open.
Yeah, literally.
It's
yeah,
never opening
like
again.
if I was in that situation and somebody opened the number 9 door, I'd be like, "Well, touche." Like that was kind of a jerk move, but like I'm not
That
gonna.
sucks. You're an asshole, but bye, I guess.
Yeah.
Not like why would you even want to be trapped with that person for the rest of eternity, anyways?
I mean, the subtext is probably that they would kill them.
Dio leapt at Clover as his fist raised. Clover easily avoided him and moved toward the door.
Goodbye.
I caught one last glimpse of her face as she slid through the door. It was a mask of ice.
It's as cold as ice.
Cold never bothered her anyway.
No.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay. And game over. Presumably Quark wrote the note in this too, because he wrote it before the split, so he just didn't give it to you. He's just like, fine, I don't want you to know about Grandpa. Okay, now we're
Okay.
Is the other lock we unlocked?
What would we have to do in that lock? See if we can save.
How can find K be saved?
Yeah, sure.
Over there? Okay.
Yeah.
This is where we got the K.
Subtext.
This is where we got the K backstory.
Yeah. So this is the subtext of this one is that we'd probably give K the tubocurine and then put Phi in cold sleep.
We'll find out.
The first is an anesthetic called Solaril Beta. The other's a muscle relaxant called Turboturine. Your bracelets also have a bunch of needles on the inside. If you break the rules, those needles hop out and inject you. My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of cholinesterase inhibitor.
Cholinesterase inhibitor. I think I still said it wrong. This with more confidence.
That means it's sort of an antidote for tuberculine. I knew it!
Give it back. I found it, so it's mine. Achievement unlocked. Each according to his needle. Of course, the antidote.
The antidote?
I didn't have time to explain. I took off running toward the exit.
Sigma! Where are you going?
Stay here. I'll be right back. I bolt out the warehouse toward the treatment room.
Yeah, but there's only one dose of.
That is correct.
Cholinesterase.
There's only one dose.
There's a split. Who we're gonna save?
We'll see. Treatment center. I think Dio put it in his pocket. Come on, come on, come on. Please still have it. So it was pouring down my face, but didn't bother to wipe it off. There wasn't time. I dug frantically through Dio's coat until... Aha! Found it! Oh. It's only one dose. The injection gun used the whole bottle at once. Shit. Can't save both of them. 1 minute remains until chromatic doors close. 1 minute? Shit! I spun around and shot out of the treatment center. Three, two, one. Chromatic doors closing.
Ooh.
No, you gotta be kidding me. Oh dear. Sigma. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soparil. You might want to close your eyes. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble and gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor. No, I couldn't fall asleep. I had to give one of them the antidote before my bracelet injected me with the turbocurine. With every ounce of strength I could muster, I forced my eyes back open. Okay, it's not swimming anymore. Kay and Phi lay limp on the floor in front of me. In my right hand, I could feel the injector gun with its precious cargo. I could only pull the trigger once. Who was I going to choose? Phi? Or Kay? No, what was I thinking? There's only one answer. Phi. I didn't even have a choice. After all, Kay's entire body was covered in impenetrable metal. I'm sorry, Kay. I summoned up as much energy as I could and dragged myself toward Phi. After what felt like an eternity, I was finally within arm's reach. With no time to waste, I pressed the gun to her arm and pulled the trigger.
Sigma. What the hell did you...
I injected you with neostigmine. It's a type of cholinesterase inhibitor. It's the antidote to the muscle relaxant.
Why did you pick me?
Because I can't use the injection gun on Kay. It'd never go through the metal.
Then... why didn't you inject yourself?
Guess you got a point. Honestly, didn't even cross my mind.
You are the biggest idiot on the planet.
Hey, come on. Is that any kind of thing to say to somebody who's about to die? How about something more tender?
No. Screw this. I don't want to live if it means being in debt to you. No. Goddamn way. I'm not gonna.
Her words slurred and slowed and her eyes fluttered closed. She wasn't dead, of course. I could hear the faint sound of her breathing and see her chest rise and fall. Good. Phi's gonna be alright. But Kay. I looked over in his direction. That was when I noticed it.
Oh, do we have the key in this timeline?
There's a hole here on the back of your head. Yeah, it looks like you insert something. It says open, so maybe put some kind of key in there.
You could open up the suit and take the mask off.
Wait,
Oh, it's already opened.
and he... But when could he have... Yeah, it's already opened. It's empty. Yes. Was there something in there before? No, it was empty when I found it.
So he
What
lied.
if he lied? Could Kay have taken the key? How he got in it didn't really matter anymore. What did matter is that Kay had been able to remove his armor. And he had. When he went to lay down to take a nap because his head hurt, and then we went and found Dio dead.
he took his armor, left it there, and then ran around without armor.
Holy shit. Then that would mean Dio's killer is... Coaxed as much strength as I could from my increasingly lethargic body and crawled toward Kay. Kay! Wake up! Come on, talk to me! I grabbed his shoulder and shook him until he finally shifted and spoke. Sigma. I just needed to know one thing. Did you kill Dio? You weren't sleeping, were you? After I left, you took off your armor. You didn't want to go to the same way I had, so you took the other door. After you went the long way around through the warehouse and the crew quarters, you headed for the elevator.
You know, for Five being already like
Unconscious.
numb, yeah,
Sleep.
he really does have a lot. Yeah, he's very strong. His
I know.
constitution is off the chain.
He has 20 in constitution, what can you say?
Maxed it out.
I bumped into Fi and went back to the lounge to check on you. We saw you. Or we saw your armor, I guess. By then, you would have been out of it. While we were in the lounge, you went to the treatment room and killed Dio.
Longy.
You must have turned off the oxygen to his pod, although you probably didn't stick around to make sure he died. I'm betting you were in a hurry to get back before Fi and I noticed something was up. Once you got back to floor A, you needed us out of the lounge, so you made a noise in the hall to lure us out. Then you ran around and took the long way back to the lounge so you could enter through the rear door. I mean, this serves a little purpose to show how you could have looped around. Once you were there, you put your suit on again and waited for us. As soon as we found Dio's body, we did exactly what you'd expected. Kay, wake up! Something's happened. You pretended to wake up, very disoriented and confused. What is it? Oh, what is it? Come on, Kay. I'm almost out of time. Did you kill Dio? Yes. Your reasoning is correct. I killed him. Why? Because I couldn't forgive him. He took the life of someone very important to me. I couldn't. Who did he kill? The old woman. What? She was like a mother to me. She showed me how to see meaning in my life. Wait, are you saying... Yes, I am. She was the woman who came here when I was 18. Whoa, hold on. What do you mean here?
When he was 18?
Yeah, that's when he got mom. Well, the
Oh
human mom.
man, I thought he was like a kid.
No, when he was a kid, he had a robot mom that he didn't like.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, we are out of time. There's something I have to tell you. I made a promise that you would hear it. Do you understand? This is very important. You must pay attention. You cannot forget. Forget? It wasn't making sense. I was about to die. How on earth would I be remembering anything for more than a few seconds? If you see a lion with two heads devouring the sun, remember these letters. Milkevoli. Milkevoli.
Milkevoli.
Do you want to take a shot?
I committed it to memory. Milkevoli.
You sure?
They're longer than I care to admit. Yeah.
This will open the second gate. What the hell? Hey, Kay, who told you to tell me this? No, Who are you? Show me! Show me who you really are! I grabbed a hold of Kay's mask and tore it off. What? No, that's impossible. That face.
What is that?
It's my face.
Oh.
I felt a sharp pain in my left wrist, and my body collapsed unceremoniously. The second drug, turbocurine. My vision began to blur, and my head felt unnaturally heavy.
I've only seen our face in art, not in
Yeah.
3D model.
Fair, well, that's probably why they said it. The world faded away, and my consciousness slipped down into the cold, dark waters of nothingness.
It's like that thing with what is it? The Flash. It's like that he removes, like, so the villain like takes over his body and like he takes the mask off. He's like, who the hell is this person? Have you seen that?
No.
It's like, finally I'll be able to reveal the Flash's true identity. And then he takes the mask off. It's like, who is
Achievement
this
unlocked
person?
through the looking glass.
More like through the looking glass. Am I right?
Woo, 2 endings today.